Technology has made telemedicine possible, but how about combining a video call with a medic with the tools that might be needed for the actual diagnosis?
This is what's known as a clinic in a box, a remote doctor's appointment that can take place anywhere, but the reason you're entering it is because there's also some equipment. This is a demo set up today, but if I was doing it for real, I would be having a live doctor's appointment here in the large video screen.
Hello, and welcome to the OnMed Care Station. You'll notice at the door and window, fog for complete privacy. Let's start a typical consultation by checking your vitals.
There are thermal imaging cameras all around. They'd be taking my temperature. There's a blood pressure monitor here. I'm standing on what are some scales.
From my dashboard, I can control the stethoscope and HD camera that are being deployed from the ceiling right now. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the OnMed Care Station.
Designed for remote areas or indeed anywhere to boost access to medics, it also hopes to provide the psychological comfort of a traditional appointment, albeit one that you do need to leave the house for.
You could have one clinician now servicing multiple care stations. This has now been deployed in at least 15 rural communities across parts of the country where folks haven't seen a doctor ever or someone in the last 30+ years. So we had to make this incredibly intuitive. This is not a tech-heavy solution.
There appear to be other benefits too.
If you are somebody who worries about germs, well, UVC light and air purification takes place in here in between each patient. But of course, you are going to experience less interaction with other sick people than if you're sitting in a waiting room at the doctor's. This does probably feel a step further towards having an actual doctor's appointment because you're coming somewhere to a private spot. The doctor is there big and in your face, albeit remotely. And there are these devices that you can use. And I'm sure if I'd done a real test, it would have felt far more interactive. What I can't help but feel though is there are some limitations. There are plenty of things you can test for, but what about the things that you can't? You wouldn't be able to do a blood test, give a urine sample, or a doctor prod you to see if something hurt.
Anything that's associated with fluids, we've been very deliberate. We're not bringing it into the care station. In the communities we're servicing, we are seeing a 90%+ ability to service them inside of the care station without an outbound referral.
Vision tests could be getting quicker and more portable too. iBot's booth only takes 90 seconds to do the job.
Okay, I'm looking aside to read the letters. Nose, N-O-S-E. Feels like a game.
There's also that familiar balloon that you see in an optician's test. Cameras are measuring my eyes whilst I demonstrate what I can see. It can then come up with a prescription, and if any problems are spotted, they can be flagged.
We have multiple cameras on board, and so these cameras are always looking at your eyes, and so inevitably we find conditions in your eyes. We don't make the claim that we diagnose these conditions, but they come to me as an eye doctor so I can validate them and get you in for a full eye exam.
Like much of the other health tech on the show floor, these ideas aim to help us access the monitoring, diagnosis and care that we need. At a time where in-person appointments may seem harder to come by than ever, but technology might just be able to help fill some of the gaps.